welcome once again to Living in the 21st Century. Joining me today is Vasil Shevchenko, former Transportation Minister of the Ukraine. Vasil, it's always a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for invitation. Happy to work with you again.
Sure. It looks like this Russian President Putin is not letting off. He's coming with everything he have. How does the Ukraine look so far in all of this?
First of all, I'd like to say that we are speaking in the day when Russians decided to shell Ukraine again. Today, Russia used against Ukraine 38 missiles, ballistic missiles. Mm-hmm. And 25 missiles was intercepted by the Ukrainian Air Defense Forces, but 13 missiles targeted infrastructure of Ukraine. And first of all, I'd say that they continue fighting with civilians. They continue shelling peace cities and killing children and elderly persons. They are weak, and I'd say that their shelling shows us that they are danger to have a nuclear weapon. And because of it, I'd say that Ukraine is fighting effectively, but now we can see that at the battle line appeared draftee, which were drafted to Russia's army a few months ago. They are using different type of techniques. They have involved in this war a few private companies, and we are surprised that Russia started fighting with Ukraine forces by private army, which were formed from former prisoners and which were formed for higher salary. And we know that United States decision, which was accepted lately, prohibited this so-called Wagner company and another private military company which are using mercenaries to fight against army. And now we at the battle line we have a lot of cruel battles, because, for example, now is being discussed really serious situation with little city, or better to say, it's Ukrainian village. They Russians sent there to capture this city more than 60,000 mercenaries from these private armies. And it was confirmed officially from the Russia Federation that they decided to demonstrate that they can capture the city and tell for Russians that they have achieved a little victory. And Ukraine army are fighting effectively, but you know that we are limited in ammunition, and we are limited in higher sophisticated weapon, just to have opportunity to prevent this operation. And we know that Russia Federation is going to start their drafty campaign to involve new conscripts in Russia's Ukraine war, and they are planning to draft more than half million. And to be honest, from Ukrainian experts, I had opinion how they try to attack. It's a type of technology when they are sending wave after wave. And for example, in the battle for Solidar City, they lost more than 15,000 soldiers, but they were continuing sending them, and it was battle. They concentrated just to confirm that private army is more stronger and more weaponized than ordinary Russia troops. And in my opinion, and in expert and foreign and international experts' opinion, is demonstrates that something wrong is going on in Russia Federation, because we know that they want to demonstrate and want to tell their followers, Russia citizens, that they are defeating NATO bloc. And they, for example, I wanted to tell our friends in United States that Ukraine will receive from United States arm carriers Bradley, which decision about it was adopted in United States. Thanks people of United States and government in United States for it. But we haven't received this arm carriers. But Russia Federation has informed that they have managed to eliminate four from this Bradley arm carriers.
Yes.
And I don't know where did it happen, and I think it happened in their heads, because no Bradley arm carriers have crossed Ukraine border. Maybe they eliminated somewhere in seaports or somewhere else. But we understand that it's lie. They are using their controlled by government media, which can spread any lie about it. It's type of behavior that weaken Russia Federation and demonstrate all people around the world that something wrong is in their heads.
Yes. And I want to ask you this question. Sorry for crossing you. I want to ask you this question. First of all, I want to say it's a good thing that United States is training more than 100 Ukrainians right now at this point to deal with some advanced machinery or equipment to fight in the war. However, China's Prime Minister and Putin had a meeting over the week, and apparently, I guess it was strategy, but I was amazed to see that during that week after the meeting was held, that China started to wage war with Taiwan. And I am beginning to try to figure out if that's a plan, that if China invade Taiwan, it means that the United States of America doesn't have much resources to ship to Ukraine, because they would need that same resources to fight for Taiwan. Trying to fight two wars at the same time would mean economic pressure. It would mean less support maybe for the Ukraine, which would give Putin the ability to effectively try to destroy Ukraine. My question to you is, do you think it is a plan between China and Russia to systematically destroy Ukraine?
I'm sure that Russians are ready to use any instruments to demonstrate that they are ready to fight to defeat Ukraine anyway. We know that they have no any limits, that they not follow Geneva conventions, that they will use all instruments. But first of all, I'd like to say that they would be ready to provoke this conflict between China and Taiwan. But now I'm not sure, because Chinese slowly are changing their opinions. And first of all, I'd stress, for example, that Chinese leader was planning to visit Russia Federation in the spring of 2023, and Russians started negotiations about it, and we saw that Chinese commented that they are ready to further cooperation, but have no opportunity to visit Russia Federation. And it means that they are slowly changing their opinion, because we know that Chinese are interested in world market. China exists until they have foreign market, because they have low consumer in China, and they will not be able to exist if they lost big markets. First of all, really important for them, it's United States markets, it's European markets, it's biggest market in the world, and it's cooperation. And to be honest, I think that Chinese were frightened when United States leader Joseph Biden divided world for democracy and autocracy, and it's really frightened Chinese leader. And when we follow his first meeting after he was reappointed for third term as a Chinese leader, he had a lot of meetings with different countries, and he wanted to persuade them in main idea that China is ready to cooperate with every country, and main idea that it was wrong way to divide world democracy and autocracy, because we understand that Chinese are interested in resources from Russia Federation, and after since the 1st of December, European Union have made decision concerning caps for Russia's oil prices, and at the end of winter they will install limits for petrol and diesel from Russia Federation, and it was big hit, and this caps had different results. For example, Russia started selling their oil to China and to India, and this country decided to propose lower prices, and now we can see that prices for Russia's oil is lower than 35 dollars, United States dollar for barrel. And it means that Russians are selling their oil lower than they spend for extracting this oil. And I think they will continue. China and India will continue, pumping cheap resources, and will continue socializing with the Russia Federation. But we know they are interested in world markets, developed markets, because world consumer holds China's economy, and we must understand that China has a lot of domestic problems connected to the collapse in real estate building. For example, they had 30% investments in real estate business, but because of bankruptcy main Chinese company, this market is collapsed, and they are looking for really thousands of billion to compensate this losses, and this money can be taken only at the developed markets, and only this way can encourage China economy and China's markets to develop. And at the same time, all countries around the world gathered in so-called new, in my opinion, union. It's Ramstein, and in a couple of days we will have a new meeting. This meetings is main ground place for cooperation for support Ukraine against Russia's aggression. And we know that this Russia's aggression was unprovoked, and they decided to demonstrate that they can capture their neighbor country. And I want to remember that they have done it next time. They did it in Georgia, in Moldova, and in Ukraine. They captured Ukraine peninsula, Crimea, and then they started full-scale aggression, and initially named it special military operation, but now the Russia's president calls it war. And for Russians, he comments that they are fighting with the NATO countries. He comments that all countries are fighting against Russia Federation at Ukraine territory, and it's lie just to make Russians to go to the military, to Russia's military, and to die at Ukraine territory. And I'd tell that conflict between China and Taiwan is something different, and it isn't capturing independent country's territory. It's old conflict which have had a lot of point of view, and I think they understood that way Russia wanted to demonstrate capturing neighbors' country is wrong way, and China's slowly have started demonstrating that they are for further cooperation, for technology after sophisticated technology were prohibited to transport to transmit to China. They have changed their opinion, and in my opinion, they started looking for new point for cooperation. And slowly they are going farther from Russia Federation, and I wanted to tell that they haven't supplied Russia any weapon, and we know that Russia Federation, their private company, received from North Korea ammunition, but after I think recommendation from China, they stopped doing it, and now Russians have no chances to receive ammunition from China or North Korea. Really dangerous situation is in new formed relation with Russia and Iran. They have received a lot of drones that Russia is using against Ukraine infrastructure, and because of it, Ukraine authorities and Ukraine ministers have asked many times to help us with air defense system, middle or long range, which would allow us to eliminate these launch points, or to eliminate missiles which are destroying our city. And I wanted to tell that just after we received electricity and we can speak with you, and now I'm working, we are speaking with you, and I hold in my hands torches which allow me to switch on when we lost electricity. It's really serious situation, and we hope that soon we will have opportunity to defend our system by higher sophisticated technologies, and maybe European countries at this Ramstein meeting will make their decision concerning providing Ukraine heavy combat tanks, which would allow us to defend our land and to commit offensive operations. Because we know that if Russia's manage to draft 500,000 new soldiers, it will be more difficult, and it will provoke further cruel battles at Ukraine territory. And first of all, we must have opportunity, for example, to prevent their launching missiles at Ukraine territory, because we know that Ukraine's have no opportunity to eliminate Russia's infrastructure and to eliminate Russia's military at their territory. And it's wrong way, because we know that Russia's budget is military budget is 10 times more than Ukrainian, for example, and it's nuclear power armed country, and they have second biggest army, first of all, because of nuclear weapon and technologies which allow to use it. And we must understand that this weapon is in the Russia, and Russia cannot control it, because we know that the number of private army have appeared in the Russia Federation, and mercenaries who are forming new units, and it's something wrong, and it isn't country. It gangs which are trying to fight, and we don't know what they will do next, because we know that they have no limits, and as I have already told, they don't follow Geneva conventions concerning relation during the war, because we know that Russia Federation is going to receive new draftee and to send them again to Ukraine. And we know that now they have changed our neighbor Belarus country for training camp. That there are a lot of training camps, and they are going and demonstrating us every day that they are ready to storm. And all the things are happening just when Ukraine has problem with electricity, and we fighting effectively in the sky, and our troops are fighting effectively in the sky, shooting down Russia's missiles. But for example, ballistic missiles, which Russia Federation tries to use, is impossible to shoot down from Ukraine air defense systems, and because of it, we thank government of United States for adopting opportunity to send to Ukraine Patriot system, which would allow us partly to prevent their shelling.
Well, thank you so much, Vasil. We have come to the end of our program. I want to say thank you for tuning in or living in the 21st century. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.